Shalom. I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much respect to the brothers laboring worldwide in sincerity. And a hearty shalom and salutation to the believers out there who's believing on the words of Yahweh Bahashem Shai in truth and sincerity. I'm not sure what I'm going to title this lesson, but it's dealing with these plagues that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has sent out upon the earth. Okay? And we know it's the end. All right? You know, he prophesied that these things going to come to pass in the end of days. You know, wars, rumors of wars, plagues, pestilence. All right? Let's start out here in 2nd Ezra. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Beware your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is set among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may turn them, that may drive them away? All right, as you've seen in that video right there, man, trench fever, right? A very rare World War I illness spreads in Denver, okay? Something that, something that actually, that's a lucky for that. Some that actually live in lice feces, man. And we all know lice lives in hair, in dogs' hair, right? In animals' hair, okay? You know, that stringy hair, as it were, all right? And I got another video queued up. I got a couple videos queued up. We'll get rid of that. Check this out. And this was on, it's like a 11-minute video. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play it all, but this lady, right, she keeps getting diagnosed negative with COVID-19, but it's some kind of pneumonia disease that she got. Something new, okay?
This morning, I'm okay, Bernadette. It's too hard to explain. So I'ma say it. Trust me. I'm getting plenty of rest. Rest will kill you. So I'm trying not to rest a lot. So this morning, the CDC called me because all of my COVID tests
tell you something, man. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord Yahweh, man. It's a fearful thing, man.
Okay, if y'all can bear with me, I'm sorry. Okay. So, this morning, the CDC called me, and they asked me, they already had my information, I guess from the hospital where I worked, because apparently since I've been on work, six or seven people have died with what I have.
And it's not COVID-19, man.
All three of my COVID tests are negative. But I have all the symptoms of COVID. But they're calling it an unknown pneumonia. I have bilateral pneumonia. I have it in both my lungs. They was trying to convince me to go in and to be put on a ventilator. So that they can help me breathe. This new strand of coronavirus is an unknown pneumonia, and you won't test positive for any COVID test.
You see that? New strain of so-called COVID-19, right? That is more so with pneumonia. And pneumonia, you know, you get water in your lungs where you actually drowning. It's like you're drowning. You get water fill up your lungs and you can't breathe and you choke on your own fluid, man. Okay? This is the work of who? Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. Matter of fact, gotta go get it. It must be brought out. It's Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. And that's Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, man. All right. Once again, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord, man. Yeah, you never know what type of wickedness, you know, she did to get that. Okay. So this is Hebrews 10 and 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Okay? It's a fearful thing, man. And that's what we seeing right here, man. All right, she done fell into the hands of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Okay?
For any COVID test that they run, you have fever, muscle aches, cramps. My joints are locking up. But I keep myself hydrated. I have oxygen. I try not to use it unless I really have to. And I have IV fluids that I can self administer to myself. So, on that note, the reason for this video is to let you guys know, don't follow this little trend with this mask thing, this 5G strip, and this mask, so you won't wear a mask. Don't be silly, y'all. Wear your mask. I work at a hospital, one of the biggest. One of the biggest hospitals here. I wear my mask. I wear my PPEs. But you have people that come in the hospital and bring this stuff in when they know they've been around COVID patients. Today, when I came from the hospital, our hospital is jam-packed, more than what it's been. But the CDC is saying that this is a new strand. Listen, I tried to look it up when I got off. When I got off the phone with them, and I see what they're talking about, but they're just not talking about it. So, they said this is way more deadlier than coronavirus. I know y'all saying, you need to be in the hospital. You need to be in the hospital. But, yeah. Have to understand. I have a 15-year-old daughter. So that's my fight. I have 2 sons. That's my fight. My fight. So I can't afford to be in the hospital. So,
all right, enough of that. So once again, man, as you seen, man, Yahweh Shah sending these plagues, man, and he's not playing. All right, these things are meant as scourges for amendment. All right, now I got 2 more videos All right. So bear with me.
Just when you thought the year couldn't throw anything else at the world, it has. Locusts. A lot of them. Just half a square mile of swarm has up to 80 million locusts packed in it. And while the locusts may not be eating their way through the U.S., they are wreaking havoc from Africa to Asia to the Middle East. It's a huge problem for food supply in countries that are already struggling to deal with the coronavirus pandemic. And what's worse, if these record numbers of locusts aren't controlled now, the upcoming rainy season could make it a true disaster, like famine-level disaster in the eastern part of Africa.
Considering that there's 20 million people in the region already in, acute food insecurity, which is one level below famine, you can understand, the danger.
What exactly is a locust? Well, basically it's a kind of grasshopper, common to dry or arid areas, and normally, when they're on their own, they lead pretty boring lives. But when they get together, it's different. In a crowd, everything about them changes. Their color, their behavior, their appetite. They reproduce like crazy, and those crowds grow into swarms, and they're ravenous for crops, any kind of vegetation. They aren't fussy. They destroy nearly anything that's green and leafy. East Africa, Yemen, Iran, Pakistan, India, they're all on high alert. Even South America has them too. The threat is unprecedented, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO, of the United Nations, where locusts have their own Twitter account and a division of experts tracking them. The FAO says that ultimately we can blame climate change. Extreme weather events, in this case 2 cyclones, triggered heavy rains over a remote part of the Arabian Peninsula, creating these ideal conditions for desert locusts to breed unabated. Countries juggling the pandemic, drought, and conflict lack the tools to deal with this plague too. In the fields around Gotki, Pakistan, this is how farmers are trying to save their crops, banging pots and pans to scare away the locusts, or at least keep them on the move. Local officials aren't convinced it works, but they realize people don't have much else to try.
They have fear in their mind that this pest may cause a considerable loss to their field crops.
Over a third of Pakistan is effectively one big locust breeding ground, which is a threat to the whole country and its crops. Spraying teams with pesticides were apparently mobilized too late.
You cannot completely eradicate the locust, but you can minimize any pest.
Yeah, look at this crazy shit, man. You see this dude got a damn mask on, man. Once again, we don't believe that COVID-19 is, we believe it's a virus, but the death toll that is being presented, we believe that's a hoax, all right? We believe that more people are dying from other things other than COVID, and they're just using COVID, okay, as the main guise to bring in this new world order, all right? And it's all Yahweh Shah working on the left-hand side. All right. We know these things.
Complete eradicate the locust, but you can minimize any pest.
The problem is that locust swarms don't stay put. They travel with the wind and fan out in all directions, across borders, eating their own weight in crops every day. A half-square-mile swarm eats about the same amount of food in a day as 35,000 people. And there are a lot of half-square miles of swarms. How are locusts stopped?
Really, the only way to try to reduce the population numbers is aerial control. And it's aerial control of chemical pesticides as well as biopesticides for the first time this year. But this requires a lot of logistics, good organization, very good information, from countries that don't often have, the foundation or the infrastructure for this.
cities are getting them too. Last month, clouds of locusts invaded parts of New Delhi, India's capital. At one point, China was apparently going to send thousands of ducks to Pakistan to just eat the problem, but it never happened. There just aren't many options, and the $300 million the FAO is trying to raise for containment campaigns may not be enough. Now the monsoon rains are looming, bringing the perfect world for locusts to breed, and people may be able to do little more than stare up at the clouds, then watch the fields vanish.
All right, see that? More plagues, man. Then he said he's gonna smite Egypt with plagues as before. Matter of fact, let's get it, man. And these plagues are gonna affect the whole world, not just Babylon the Great, aka America. Let's see. This is second Ezra, and I want to get to the point. Second Ezra 15:5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Death and destruction, man. Famine, those locusts, right? It's eating up crops, and this what will in turn bring on famine, and it's the beautiful works of Yahweh Bashar, man. He's bringing low the haughty and the prideful people of this world, man. All right. Verse 6. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hopeful works are fulfilled. Yeah, man. All these nations are drunk of that Babylon juice. All right. And her sins have reached up to heaven. And they're going to be partakers in her judgment because they chose the ways of America, aka Mystery Babylon. All right. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Yeah, man. All right. He's not holding his tongue. He's speaking by the mouth of the prophet, starting with our apostle Tahar on down. Okay. You know, prophesying 35 plus years, man. All right. You know, bringing out the words of Yahweh Bashar, warning the people. All right. To what? To bring in that desired amount. All right. To be sealed in the feast of Yahweh Bashar Yahushua. All right. And the rest was going to be destroyed. All right. This is what time frame we're in. All right. Because why? We're measuring the time diligently in itself. Okay. Verse 9. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. You see that? Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Yeah, the land of our captivity. And anywhere we are dispersed, guess what? That's the land of our captivity, because we are in exile. Okay? But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. And that's what's going to happen here in Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, Yahweh Shah is going to bring that mighty plague of nuclear fire and the concentrated fire of those so-called UFOs, but we know as the chariots of Yahweh Shah. All right, and that's how this land is going to be destroyed. It's going to be a desolate wilderness. Now let's go to this other video dealing with more plagues, right? Now check this out now. That first thing about Colorado was, the first video was about trench fever, a rare World War I disease. Now guess this. Another place in Colorado had a squirrel test positive for the Bubonic Plague, man. The Black Plague, right? Check this out.
A 15-year-old boy in Mongolia has died of bubonic plague. The bubonic plague, sometimes known as the Black Death, is a bacterial infection. Its symptoms include fever, chills, and swollen lymph glands. In the mid-14th century, the plague killed untold millions of people around the world. It's considered the deadliest human pandemic ever. But in the 21st century, bubonic plague is rare. The CDC reports that there are fewer than 1,000 cases worldwide every year. Bubonic plague can spread by flea bite, as well as by coming into contact with other infected animals. The teen in Mongolia reportedly contracted the disease from eating marmot. Marmots are large rodents, part of the squirrel family. Marmot has long been a part of the human diet in some areas of Mongolia. Sometimes it is cooked and sometimes it is eaten raw. In an interview with Mongol TV, this emergency room doctor said, "I highly recommend you not to eat marmot meat. Once the bubonic plague has spread, it is a disease which can easily lead to death." The Mongolian Health Ministry said that over a dozen people who had been in contact with the teen are now in quarantine and are being treated with antibiotics. That includes 2 other teens who had also eaten marmot. This is Inside Edition Digital.
So how in the hell you get 2 different sides of the country, right? Sides of the world with the same plague. All right, now these articles and these videos are all from last week, man. Okay? This is the works of who? Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. And he's slowly but surely, you know, making his presence known. He's visiting the earth. Matter of fact, let's go get that. He's visiting the earth which he made. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which we seeing now, okay, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right? And he's declared the end from the beginning, man. All right? So hold fast. Matter of fact, let's get another precept. Hold fast. Stay prayed up. You know? And trust in Yahweh Shah. All right? Yeah. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, thy power, will put all these curses upon thine enemies and upon them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Yeah, what's part of these curses? These plagues. Okay, let's prove it. Let's go to the curses. Deuteronomy 28. I believe it's 61. Yep. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in this book of this law, then will the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Yeah, man, we in the time that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua is putting all of these curses upon our enemies, man. All right, those that persecuted us. Why? Because it's that time. This is the said measure of things to be fulfilled. Okay? That's going to be it for the lesson. Lord willing, it's been edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who I'm learning this 100% truth from. Much respect to the brothers laboring worldwide in truth and sincerity. And a hearty shalom to the believers out there who's believing on the words of Yahweh Bahashim and the names of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua in truth and sincerity. Lord willing, coming to you another lesson. Till the next time I say shalom.